Alright guys, hello and welcome back to the next episode of our F1M24 career mode. Here, it is late 2027. We have, I believe it's 1, 2, and 3 episodes to go. So this and 2 more episodes for the finale of season 4. And no spoilers, we don't have to move anything right now. But we are in the positive. If you guys remember in the last episode, we were given a warning from the board saying that you need to improve your position as a team principal, mainly on the park performance side, to keep yourself on the team by the end of the season, because they didn't like that we were negative for X amount of time. I'm trying to see where it was. Finances, because we were, nope, that's not it. We were negative for our money. I believe it was from April to April, May, June, July. I think it's like those 4 months or so, because we're barely on the positive side. We're basically pushing research for the next season and car parts for the rest of the season, and I'm hoping that when is our next sponsor plan? It's going to be after Coda, so we'll have a little bit more money coming in after this race that we will be simulating. We'll be doing Zandvoort for today's episode. It is not a sprint weekend, so it won't be as long as the last few episodes, because I believe it was the last episode that was over an hour long. If I was wrong, it was the one before that. But not much else to go over, as we're basically money saving mode and parts management, since we only have so many right now for our cars. So we'll go ahead and see you guys for the results of COTA. All right, we are here for the results of the United States Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso starting in second on the front row against Max Verstappen and pulling out a win. That's a 27-second gap between him and Max. And then Vesti starting in P7, finishing in P7. Esteban Ocon and the Aston Martin Honda gaining 14 positions on that. Carlos Sainz, Tsunoda, Iwasa, and Hamilton out. Oh wait, no, yeah, it's Ocon and Hamilton in the Aston Martin. Now that moves Fernando Alonso up to P5 against Sergio Perez in the Red Bull by 1 point. Verstappen passes his teammate Charles Leclerc in the standings up to P3 by 7. Vesti hangs on to P8 behind Esteban Ocon. He's still holding on to that. Hamilton still sitting back there, P11 for driver standings. And we pass finally with that simulation. High-Tech GP moves up into 3rd position for the constructor standings against Red Bull Ford. So that's going to be our fight for the remainder of the season. So these last 3 episodes, our main focus is going to be fighting Red Bull on performance. And we have the stats there. 1 win, 4 podiums, 1 fastest lap, 2 pole positions, and they finished all of their races. And we've had 4 wins, 6 podiums, 2 fastest laps, but no pole position. So no drivers starting on pole position for our team quite yet. And I feel like that's going to be Fernando Alonso by the end of this season. We did get P7, or wait, we didn't get top 10. We're still sitting in P7 ahead of Porsche. They gained 6 points on us. That closes the gap to 3 points. 2.3, 2.02, 2.048. 2-stop strategy for our drivers this time around. A loss of 300k. I don't know if that'll put us negative or not. And there is our sponsor plan review. And we are back in the positive at 8 million. As we're going to be coming up to Azerbaijan, Baku. It is a sprint weekend. So we will go ahead and see you guys for the results of the sprint race in Baku while we do some admin stuff and go over this regulation vote. So we'll recap that after the results. All right, here we are for the results of the Baku Sprint. Frederick Vesti P9 gained a P1 position, so started from P10. Alonso P17, loss of 11 positions. I'm not sure what happened, but we're not going to let that happen again, hopefully. So we'll see you guys for the results of the main race.
For a strong grid position.
All right, here we are for the results of the Baku feature race. I forgot that on sprint weekends, as we continue, it transitions right back into qualifying, so that is my bad. Alonso, P5 finish, gain of 3, so 1, 2, 3. He started in 8th. Vesti started in 6th from what we're looking at here. And great fight so far against Red Bull. Perez finishing P16 and Logan Sargent finishing P7. So that's Max Verstappen pushing himself up to 2nd place in the driver's standings, 3 points ahead of Lando Norris. Alonso closing the gap on Leclerc, while Perez is still trying to keep that gap close enough for a end of the season finish. Esteban Ocon increasing that gap on Vesti for P7, as we are now 10 points ahead of Red Bull. That's basically our focus right now, like we said a few minutes ago, not even, as we've been doing pretty steady transitions here before we get to the race that we will be doing manually. So 10 points ahead of Red Bull in the constructor standings for P3. We did P7 2.034 for 6 points there, sorry about that. And then we're still losing, we lost a few more points. 20 points from Porsche for their pit stop. Oh my. Okay. So they had a 2-pointer behind us, and then they had 1.93 for Pierre Gasly. So they are pushing ahead of us into P7, pushing us back to P8 for that fastest pit stop comp. As Vesti ran a one-stop strategy that race. And a loss of money there as we transition to the main menu. And I did want to go over that I don't believe I have any spoilers here. No, I do not. Where did it go? Regulation vote. Financial changes. Only 2 teams voted for it. Everybody else voted against it. And that's what we were wanting. F3 talent. Leonardo Fornaroli. No. We have our behind the scenes stuff going the way we want it to. That's going to be side pod replacement. We have some parts coming in for our development. So our 3 items of development that we were working previously on for research finished. So now we're doing rear wing and suspension. We want to wait for a little bit more money in order to throw away the last little bit of R&D hours that we have. But we are manufacturing some extra parts currently to hopefully get us through at least the next episode. The last episode will have to be a different situation. Race preview, staff survey. All right, and we'll see you guys for qualifying here in the Netherlands. All right, here we are for the results of practice 3, and surprisingly enough, it took us all 3 practice sessions to get our setups done. Vesti only got a 97%. We fiddled with it a little bit too much where we messed up and couldn't get it dialed into 100%. And Alonso, we got his maybe the first run of the session. But I have no doubt that our drivers are confident enough for the weekend. So let's go ahead and get to it. And 98%, 100%. 97%. I really hope that's not going to hurt us in the long run for this race weekend. Starting confidence, 98%. All right, let's get to qualifying.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
The session will be divided into Q1, Q2 and Q3. With the slowest 5 drivers eliminated from each period, their best times will determine the grid for the upcoming race.
Here's Fernando Alonso. Big question, how have things been for him heading into this qualifying session.
It hasn't been a great showing from the team's drivers so far. Neither will want to be left behind, and I'm sure they'll both be looking to pull ahead today.
Buckle up then, folks. It's almost time for qualifying.
I honestly feel like they're... I don't know if I unmuted in time, but I honestly feel like they're undermining Alonso because he has had a handful of wins this season, and he's sitting pretty strong in the standings. You're just not giving him enough credit. Alright, take off the extra cooldown lap. And it's a fairly dry weekend, a little bit overcast, so no rain, surprisingly. Which we do see a lot of rain in Zandvoort.
4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, green light.
Go ahead and put Alonso out first. And I thought about having it as a thumbnail, but Sonoda smashed into the hairpin. Same way that Daniel Ricciardo did in real life. In first practice, and he was having some engine issues. They swapped out some components, and that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to swap out the fault.
Brake warming reminder.
The faulty engine component that Vesti has. So we're gonna be stuck with that for the entire weekend. Hopefully that does not hinder his performance through the race. But as always, we'll see you guys for the end of this qualifying session. Alright, I know I sent my guys out a little bit early. 2 purple sectors for Alonso. Hopefully the car in front of him is not going to hinder it. It's going to be the car coming in. I don't know who. That was a Haas. Alonso up to P2 provisional. That is good.
P2 at the moment.
Vesti coming around the final corner here. Very high rated speed here. Personal best sector 2, so he's looking hopeful to stay within the top 10. That's going to be P10 for him. 5 tenths off the pace of Paul Leclerc, 107.9.
So currently P10.
Going fast forward here to see what the rest of this session is looking like.
Charge on and box.
Because we did go out early. Vesti's back down to P11, splitting the Audis.
Understood, guys.
A lot of cars coming in. That's going to be both of our drivers in the Q2. All right, we will see you guys. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, Fernando Alonso P2, Vesti P11. Jump right into Q2. Same as before. Get rid of that cooldown lap and get right to it. So we'll see you guys at the end of the session to see if we can get both of our drivers in a Q3. All right, 33 seconds to go. Our guys are on the top of the board, but it is a very slim margin. 9 tenths separating the top 10. No personal improvements for Alonso. He is sitting in P1 though at a 107.8. That is better than the Ferrari from Q1. He's going to be safe through
Only P1.
and see where Vesti ends up. See if he can get up into the 107s. Leclerc pushing up to P2.
Okay, copy. Understood.
And it's going to be Vesti across the line. Personal improvement,
Currently P3.
but not in Sector 3.
I got the good
So
lap.
far, they are good to get into Q3. See what these time frames look like for the rest of our drivers. That's going to be both of our drivers into Q3, so we'll see you guys at the end of Q3 for the top 10 shootout and see where our guys start out for this race here in Zandvoort. All right, I completely spaced and I put Alonso out early. He has a purple sector 1 though. See where he ends up on that time frame. Personal best for sector 3, putting him up into
You're
P2.
currently P2.
Leclerc 107.6,
Lap time
improving
looks pretty
again
competitive
from
at the
both
moment.
Q2 and Q1. Vesti's going to be coming across. Well, he's just starting his run now. No, he's about halfway through. We're not going to have enough time to get our drivers out, I don't think. But we do have people that are in the pits right now. And who have just come out, I believe. 3 minutes to go in the session. Just over a lap time for the track itself. I should have just had him come in. No improvement there for P2, P3 currently. I don't know. We're not going to have enough time for our guys to get out. Red flag.
Red flag.
It's going to be Lawson and Piastri as
Right
Alonso's
then,
coming up to
take
it.
a look now. Here we are then looking at turn 12. And there's the contact. And even if they do make it to the race,
It's just
okay,
Lawson.
they've
He
clearly
lost
got
it
a
coming out of the
challenge on.
corner. Red flag. Is that going to end the session? Session restarts. We're currently setting P2, P3. We have an extra set of softs. I want to save those for the race. We're going to save those tires for the race. We'll put on the same set. We'll have how much time left? 2:30 to get out across the line. We're gonna put Vesti out first, and then Alonso behind to try to get Alonso that boost for pole position. I don't know if that's gonna be close enough. No, Alonso's not gonna have enough time. Or enough space ahead of him to get a tow. That's just for us hoping. Alright. The flag has flown. Vesti's coming in across the line before Alonso. See where Leclerc ends up. See if he has an personal improvement. No, that's gonna be Verstappen. No improvement, Vesti. Alonso, personal improvement, not enough for pole position. 1/10 off the pace. That's just up to the other drivers now. Come across the line, see if we can get that front row start for Alonso yet again. That's gonna be our grid for the race. It's gonna be Charles Leclerc, Alonso on the front row, Piastri, Verstappen, Vesti, Esteban Ocon, Hamilton. So they're next to each other, just not side by side. Albon, George Russell, and Liam Lawson. If Liam Lawson doesn't have to change parts out from that wreck, he'll be starting in P10. Alright, let's get to the race.
It's a tremendous atmosphere once again here in Zandvoort, with 72 laps awaiting the drivers here today.
Zandvoort's highly banked corners make it one of the more unusual Grand Prix circuits. Dutch driver Max Verstappen won with a dominant lead here in 2021, driving the home fans to a frenzy as he did.
On the North Sea coast of the Netherlands, Zandvoort is named for the dunes that split the circuit from the water. Coastal winds sweep across this tricky track, which has a banked section steeper than most ovals. The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived. Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. And plenty of people watching on will be keen to follow Fernando Alonso's progress.
It's a P2 start for them, an excellent opportunity, and no doubt they'll be looking to grab it with both hands.
But there's no more time left. We've got a race on our hands. Here we go. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. And it's lights out. and
All right,
away
here we go. P2 and P5 start for our drivers. We're not going to do that strategy
Trying to
today.
reduce the hits on the curb.
We're going to have high aggression on our drivers here. Alonso losing position at Piastri off the start. We dropped 3 laps of fuel, but we should be good
We need
for
to do
this
more
race.
coast. Please increase by 10%.
Okay, copy.
Alonso still not giving up against Piastri there, who took that early position from him. As Vesti is looking to make a move eventually on Verstappen. Go Vesti and take a look at that. Looks pretty good. And at Lawson, I was right. Lawson had a pit lane start for changing components after the incident in Q3. As Vesti is defending against Ocon. And that is lap 1. Alonso starting to lose pace a little bit, falling behind Piastri, but as long as we stay within the window for DRS, we'll be fine.
You are currently P3.
Alonso
Next car,
losing position
Piastri.
to Verstappen on the inside. Very strong move from him.
Car behind is Verstappen.
We'll go aggressive for now. Take another look at that overtake. He easily had the inside there. That is fine. We'll go balanced for now, I
Might
guess.
just pick up the pace a little bit. You can save less.
Copy.
Stop the lift off, please.
Yeah, copy.
Want to keep Alonso close to him. See if we can get him to attack.
Let's get after these cars in front.
We'll attack a little bit for both drivers.
Let's try to clear him as quick as we can.
Come on. Not quite. That's fine. We're gonna go ahead and leave it at that.
Slow down now.
Copy.
And
Right.
we need to increase lift and coast by 30%.
Not much else going on, so we're gonna
Okay,
go ahead and
yeah.
sim forward. Our first pit stop window is gonna be
We need to
23
reduce K1
and
usage.
24 onto the medium tires for our drivers. So we'll see you guys then. All right, something happened. Albon and Russell.
Debris on the track.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
Did that catch it? No. I want to see the yellow flag
There's been a
incident. There we
crash.
go. George Russell. Got Albon behind. Contact from Albon. Albon's probably going to get the fault for that. And I think they got beached. I'm not sure. They were in the gravel. No, they're back on track now. They both got extensive damage from that.
And now we've had a crash.
Is that going to show the same thing? No. Oh, it's going to be extended. They crashed trying to get back on the track. Oh, great.
Okay, plenty of space.
I can see Albon getting a penalty for that.
And look at
Both.
the team there. They all knew what that moment.
I'm sure Albon's got penalties headed his way. But that's going to be in the backfield. Spread the field out pretty rough. Alonso's fighting for pole position. Vesti's 2.5 seconds behind the top 3. We are well into the fuel range now. We can bump up the balance
No more lift off required.
as we let Alonso continue to fight, and Russell getting a 5-second penalty for that.
Ah.
Do your best.
I don't see how Russell would have gotten that. That should have been Albon. But I'm not sure here. So Vesti is losing a little bit of pace.
DRS enabled. Ocon has it.
Yeah, copy.
Where is he losing his pace, though? I don't know. I don't understand. What was his last lap time? 1:16.2.
Let's go.
He's down by a whole
job.
second. I don't know what's going on with Vesti. Unless it's those components. Oh, it's the gearbox probably giving him issues.
Keep your head down.
We're gonna try to keep him in the points for this race then, if that's gonna be a situation. While we're at it, 43% for the gearbox on Alonso. All right, we'll go ahead and sim forward to the pit window, so we'll see you guys for Vesti's pit stop.
Do whatever you need for tyres.
Look at the Mercedes.
I forgot to unmute myself. We got a safety car for
Not
this.
a lot of wiggle room here.
Dennis
And the
Howard trying to make
impact
a
on the
move,
car,
outbroke
it's quite
himself
clear.
and hitting the
They'll have to pick
Haas.
themselves up after that.
He hit the back of the Haas there. It's gonna be a double stop for our drivers. So that's gonna be... Oh, that's gonna be rough. We're gonna be under safety car, so we're just gonna go ahead and stick with it. Mediums. Mediums. We'll go harvest. And then we'll leave the fuel. As we have a lot of ground ahead of us. Sergeant, 10.9 seconds behind. So, who's ahead? Alonso? Vesti might lose some positions here.
I'm entering the pit.
It is not an ideal double stop that we're wanting, but it's what we're gonna have to take here. Because they're well within 2 seconds of each other. That is okay with me. Because a Sergeant came in as well. Piastri, Leclerc, Verstappen. Hauger gets a 5-second time penalty. Can Vesti get out in time? No, he will not. He will come out behind Verstappen, Leclerc, Piastri. So it is.
Next car along, Ocon.
So it is provisionally Ocon, Alonso, Vesti.
Car behind is
Verstappen
Piastri.
took an early lap
Gap behind 2.7 seconds.
before the safety car. We'll go ahead and conserve these guys. All right.
Is, yes, is. And watch out for the debris on the marshals on track, please.
We need to do the full management on this set.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and conserve under the safety car. It'll probably give us 2 laps or so. We'll see you guys at the end of the safety car when it's gonna come in.
Currently P6. Safety car in this lap.
All
Safety car in
right.
this lap. Get ready.
Yeah, perfect.
Hopefully we conserved
pick up
enough,
the
but
pace.
we'll see here. Go on deploy.
You can use overtake if you need.
Lovely.
Safety car is
And
pulling away.
Esteban Ocon with the race restart. Alonso
On your
trying to
number
pull
or
over
is it forward?
Verstappen here. We tried to go side by side with him.
We are happy with tires.
Perfect.
I'm eating. I'm apologizing. I apologize for the pause. I'm currently eating. Lap 24. The race is back on. Piastri and Verstappen pit a lap early. Leclerc still has yet to pit. Looking to try to make positions up here. Zhou didn't pit. Looks like Lawson didn't pit. Gasly didn't pit. Under the safety car. Or maybe they have, I'm not sure. Sonoda, Albon, Russell already on 2 pit stops for this race. Ocon's already a second and a half clear
DRS
of
is
Alonso.
enabled.
So Alonso is not in range for DRS. Does look a little overcast. Doesn't look like we're gonna get rain. But it is gonna clear up a little bit as we progress through the race.
Let's lift off, please.
Yeah, copy.
Piastri 0.4 behind with DRS.
Okay.
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery and then you'll just be taken by everybody.
Copy.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and sim forward a few laps, see what our tire life looks like after that safety car restart, and go from there. So we'll see you guys here in a few laps.
2 cars out. We have possible debris reporting, but we don't know where.
I'm sure that's a penalty for forcing a driver off
Clearly
track.
they're not what everyone in the garage
I'm
would have
sure
wanted
that
to
is.
see.
I'm just not sure who it was with. Piastri 2 seconds ahead on lap 33. We're still looking good on our tires, so we're pushing a little bit. So, sim forward and see what we can do. Our next pit stops aren't until after lap 50. Van Dorn. 5 seconds. All right, we'll see you guys here in a second.
2 cars out, a lot of debris. And keep an eye on debris again, keep an eye on debris.
Okay, so that's Russell and... Who is that in the Aston Martin?
And you can just feel the frustration from the team watching on the monitors.
Car in front
Yeah,
of you is
Russell v.
Verstappen.
Verstappen, or Russell v. Hamilton. That's not good. A lot of sector 3
No worries, mate.
outbrakings. Then second to the last corner. About 10 laps to go before our last set of pit stops. And our tire life is looking good, so we'll see you guys there.
Yes!
Alright, here we are, lap 51. The Vesti's gonna be coming in off of those mediums onto a new set of soft tires. Alonso's gonna be following in this next lap. We're about 10.6 seconds clear of Piastri.
Okay, I'm entering the pit.
So we're still going to be fighting Piastri on the end of this race. Just a matter of how their tires are going to do. They are on hards. We're going to be on softs. No issues here for this pit stop. 2.153.
We may be
And
fighting some
Alonso's going to be
penalties.
coming in as well onto an old set of quality tires.
We'll box this lap, please.
Vesti P7.
Copy, box, box.
He should have enough pace to close in on these hard tire runners.
QNT
Alonso
P7.
push.
Okay, next one is Norris.
Go from there.
And that's Ocon directly behind you. 7.4. 7.4.
Safety car ending mode push.
What? There's no safety car. Powertrain 29% on the gearbox with a minor fault, and then engine 50%. Hoping Vesti can stay within the points. Just nurse that car to the end here. As Alonso's going to be coming in.
Okay.
9.3 is the gap to Piastri. He's going to be coming out behind the crowd, I believe. .127 is that pit stop. We're not going to be in the top 10 for that. 2.037 is the top 10. And will he get out ahead of them? He'll be getting out ahead of behind Vesti. So
Currently
we have
P6.
a whole pack to try and catch up to.
We've got Ocon behind.
But we have soft tires. They have mediums and hards.
20 laps to go at the end of this one.
Now with that 20 laps to go, we're going to try and get our drivers back onto that podium. So we'll see you guys towards the end of the race. All right, 3 laps to go. We have Vesti in P3, Alonso P4.
No concern
Alonso
on
is
tire wear.
defending against Verstappen.
Understood, guys.
Doesn't have any battery right now. We don't have any tire wear to sacrifice except for Vesti.
Now we're watching Max Verstappen here.
Making that move on the inside of that
It's
corner.
there for the taking.
Gives him the outside there and then the inside on the next turn to push him wide.
And Verstappen says thank you very much.
We might use that as a thumbnail, we'll see. But that is the fight right now. Alonso v Verstappen. Vesti is 1.3 seconds ahead for a podium spot.
Next car is Verstappen.
We'll go ahead and sim forward here to the next lap. Final lap here. A full-on attack with
Let's get
Alonso.
after these cars in front.
There he is
Okay, this is
around
last lap.
turn
Yeah, copy
1.
that.
We'll have him defend.
Avoid letting anyone through if possible, please.
We'll wait to use his battery till later. It's gonna be a double podium for McLaren. We can't get Alonso on the podium, but we can defend against Verstappen here. His tires are overheating. Go ahead and dump that battery.
Mode push. Charge on.
We'll deploy again. Or the checkered
Push.
flag. It's gonna be a race to the finish line for Alonso and Verstappen. He covers him off on the inside. Can he do it? That is Alonso
Okay, we
P4,
take the flag.
Verstappen P5. 1/10 separating the two at the finish. There's great Vesti podium. Alonso P4.
Anyway, good job, guys.
Perez and Sargent back in
Good pace.
P8, P9 for their race today.
Stop at the bridge. P1 waits for the dash. On P0.
Okay, that's the flag.
There's a great finish for us here. Audi
Top
not
job
doing
today,
so
guys.
great. But our
Top
fight
job,
is
guys.
Red Bull.
Excellent, thank you very much.
That puts us 321 to their
Usual procedures, please.
about a 31 point gap between us and Red Bull after this race. All right. Let's go and sim to the end here.
Karun, what a brilliant drive we just witnessed there.
What a fantastic result for the team who got everything right for this podium. They deserve nothing less.
And you love to see this. The whole team celebrating this magnificent result. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
I haven't seen.
They certainly
I don't
be
think I've
pleased
seen
to
that
make the
celebration.
podium. A job well done for sure.
Where they're running out of the garage. I haven't
That
seen
then
that one.
marks the end of events here at Zandvoort.
We'd Now look ahead to the next round in Monza in Italy. The Temple of Speed is waiting and the teams will be ready and raring to go.
All right. Bestie up 2 positions from P5. Fernando Alonso lost to 2. Lando Norris. Did he do a 1-stop? I don't know. He passes. It's Lando Norris versus Max Verstappen for the constructors or the drivers standings right now. Oscar Piastri that much closer to confirming his first World Drivers' Championship in this career. And then we are increasing our gap to Red Bull Ford. Not enough to, well, I mean, we could possibly, but McLaren has basically claimed the Constructors' Championship with that win. Lando Norris still in the fight there, as Fernando Alonso fighting Sergio Perez, Vesti fighting Logan Sargent, and we are fighting Red Bull. So we didn't hit top 10. We're still P8, tied with Audi. They scored 12 points for their pit stops. Zhou Guanyu, Alexander Albon 1.990. I don't know what we need to do to improve that. More of our extra parts being manufactured. We'll go ahead and swap these parts out. Powertrain. Why are you at 48 and highlighted when... Oh no. I really wish they would have changed the I don't remember if we voted on this year or not already, but they need the 5 gearboxes for a whole season. That seems a little bit overpowered. Going to our last engine for Alonso. Yeah, swap out that gearbox. Vesti's been really fighting his. Last engine for Vesti as well, because ERS has been okay. Replace rear wing, replace underfloor, high-res front wing, suspension. Yeah, but our next few races, Monza, Singapore, and Spa. I don't remember what I said in the last episode, but I believe we're gonna go Spa this time around, since we haven't recorded Spa, I believe, since season 2. I'm not sure, but yeah. So we're still sitting on top of the money, just barely. We're hitting our long-term objective. They're just not. That's where it is. September, August, April, May, June, July, August, September. Negative. Lose a lot of confidence in leadership. Each must to avoid debt. The board's confidence will grow. All right. To check my phone there. But we are over our long-term objective for podium contender. 7 out of 6 for race point finishes. We're in 3rd right now, and we need to work on those finances. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as we tried to get both of our drivers on the podium, but we did get Vesti that podium spot. As we move on to the next episode here in our F1 Manager 24 career mode. We'll see you guys in the next one.